if that's hot.
The school year has started. I'm already super stressed, and you too can be stressed. And you want to know how? Take on an internship. Look at that seamless transition. Wow, so great. So today I'm going to be talking about internships, specifically graphic design internships. I myself have interned before. I've had a total of 3 internships. I'm still at one of my internships. I've been there for over a year now, and I think I have some pretty helpful stuff to say about the whole process. First, I thought I'd talk about the interview process, getting an internship, things like that. And then I'm going to go in and talk about some of my experiences with internships and takeaways and things that I've learned, and like essentially how to make the most of your internship. So let's hop on in. Oh, this doesn't taste good. So when it comes to finding an internship, that's probably the hardest part for a lot of people, is just seeing what's out there. If you are in college right now, you can usually find opportunities through your college. I know that in the journalism school, which I am no longer part of, but that is a conversation for another day, they send out emails with internship opportunities, and they give you all the details and they tell you if it's paid or unpaid. You can also just sort of Google it. If there's a place that you're thinking about working, just type in the name and internships, and usually most organizations will have a page about job opportunities on there. After you have found a place that you want to apply to, make sure you get your portfolio together. When I was researching this, I was reading that you need to have a print portfolio as well, and I don't necessarily think that's true nowadays, especially as an intern. I don't think you really need a print portfolio. I think you can do just fine by having like a website, but definitely do put together a few of your best pieces. I would say like 8 or so is a good amount of clips to have in your portfolio, and always put your best pieces as your first and last things in your portfolio, because that's what they're going to see first, and then that's what they're going to remember when you finish showing them stuff. You're also going to need a good resume. Make sure you spell check it, make sure it's well designed. If you are going into design, a good tip with your resume, and this is something that a coworker of mine, the person who hired me at my internship I'm at now, told me that he was looking for a good rag in my resume. And by that, if you don't know what a rag is, if your text is left aligned, it is how the text on the right side sort of flows. So it should make kind of like a zigzag. I've also been told that putting a picture on there is probably not the best idea. It's kind of like, not arrogant, but no one really wants to see your face. The creative director at my work now, when she was being hired, I saw her resume, and she did a really cool interactive thing with hers, where her photo, she was looking up at the information on her resume, and that was really cool because it sort of interacted with everything that was going on. So I think that would be like an exception to the rule, but for the most part, I have been told to not put your face on your resume. They'll just have to wait to see your lovely, beautiful face in the interview. And for the interview, make sure to bring multiple copies, because there could be more than one person interviewing you. Also dress up. I feel like you don't really need to say that. Like, most people know to dress up for an interview, but just make sure you look nice. Also make sure you're on time and early. My grandpa was in the military, so I grew up always hearing the phrase, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. So I live by that rule. I try to be everywhere 5 minutes early. For interviews, possibly even earlier than that, like 10 minutes early. I don't think it makes you look overeager or lame. I just think it makes you look better, like makes you look more professional. And one last thing before you go too, is to make sure to research the company before you go. You don't want to just walk in and like not have any idea what this company does, what they're all about. Find their website, research them, try to find like news articles and things about them too, like just any information you can on them, because that'll help you later when you're in the interview. You can ask questions about the company, and you can, instead of your questions just sort of being really vague, you can come in with well-researched, thoughtful questions for them, and that'll make you look better too. And then the interview. Oh boy. Interviews are stressful. In the interview, make sure that you are prepared to answer questions about your experience, about your strengths and weaknesses, about how you would handle a certain situation. A lot of times I think interviewers will want to go through your portfolio first, and they'll ask you questions about, you know, your design process and how you got to that final end result. Be prepared to talk about that. And they'll probably ask you too how you would handle the situation. And I remember when I interviewed at the place I'm at now, I feel like I keep referencing that a lot too, but it's like the only interview that I really remember. And I was very honest in the fact that like, if I don't know how to do something, I'm gonna ask a lot of questions until I know what to do. And that was something that I talked about in my interview too. Like, I won't be afraid to ask for help if I need it or ask questions, because that's something that I've found in the past that has like really helped me learn, and that I think has made other people respect me more, is that like, I'll be like, hey, I don't know how to do something. Can you show me how to do this? I think it's better than just like sitting there for an hour trying to figure out how to do it yourself and not knowing what to do when there's someone sitting right across from you that knows what to do and can help you out, which saves company money. So another thing that you should do in the interview is ask questions about the employer. Like I was saying earlier, it pays off to research the company in advance, because then you can ask really good questions about them. You can reference something that maybe is on their website, like, hey, I see you work with this client. What's that process like? Question that I like to ask is, what's a typical day like here? Because it gives you an idea of the work environment and things like that. Oh God, why do I keep drinking this? And then finally, this is something that I don't do, but I have been told to do, is write a thank you note after the interview. You probably should do it. In the past, I haven't, because my mindset has always been like, I think that like the interaction they have with you in the interview and the quality of the work that you show in your portfolio should speak for you. But I understand too that if you don't have a lot of portfolio pieces, then it could essentially give you brownie points with them, because they might be like, well, this person didn't have the strongest portfolio, but they did send a follow-up thank you note. You know, that's the kind of person that we want at our company. It may not be the deciding factor, but it'll definitely, like I said, give you brownie points. I think what's more important though than just the interview and getting an internship is talking about how to make the most of the internship. And that's what I'm going to go into now with some of my experiences. So now let's talk about me. My first internship was the summer after my freshman year of college. I interned at a TV station. This was back when I was just majoring in journalism. I worked there from about May through August. It was a lot of fun stuff. It wasn't very journalistic at all, but that was kind of the point of the show, was we highlighted local restaurants and businesses and things like that, and just got to do really fun stuff. I started off doing really basic things there. One of my first jobs was to sort of write up articles. If we had a sponsored guest come on the show, then I would go and I would like write up an article about that. I also got to sit in the control room, got to call out commands and be like, 30 seconds left. Once I started to like prove myself, and I think also too, showing how excited I was about the job, and like, you know, they could sort of see that. They started to give me more responsibilities. I started to get to write scripts for the host. I got to do a lot of like social media stuff too. The thing I loved the most about this was that I got to actually create packages that aired on TV. The executive producer told me when I started, like, the goal was to have me do one by the end of the summer, and I did 3. But the big takeaway, the thing that I think I took the most out of with this internship was like, ask for more. I got to do so many packages too, because I showed that I was like excited about the work, and I showed that I wanted to do more and I wanted to learn. And if I had just stopped with my first package, like, I probably would have been disappointed with myself, because I don't think I would have gotten as much out of the internship. Each time I did a new package, they would give me critiques and they would tell me like, this is what you can do next time. A lot of it was just like my on-camera presence, and I think that helps for YouTube as well. Was I'm really glad I got experiences being in front of a camera, because I really loosened up after that. I think it's not something that really comes naturally to you until you do it a lot. So your experience will be what you make of it. You can have a terrible internship experience by just doing the bare minimum, but especially if it's fun, or if it's something that you really want to be doing, like something that you could see yourself doing in the future, then make the most of it. The next summer, my internship was at a local newspaper. More specifically, it was an alt weekly, which is basically those free magazines that you sort of see around town, and most major cities have them, where they talk about like culture and events going on. I got to do layouts for that magazine, which was great, because it's basically what I want to be doing with my career, except, you know, my end goal is to be in charge, to be the creative director. So it was a really good start, seeing what that looked like in like a very real world setting. In terms of getting that internship, I did not think I was gonna get it because I reached out a few months before school ended and I didn't hear anything. They had like a job listing page, and so I just emailed the person who I thought was in charge of the position I wanted, and I didn't hear back. And then I sent a follow-up email like a week later, and I think it took like another week or so. It took a long time before I got a response. And then she told me that actually this department might be a better fit for you. Apparently I was reaching out to the people in charge of designing the ads that go in the newspaper, and I didn't realize that. But then again, there really was no listing for like the internship that I wanted. Just through contacting and like sort of pestering the shit out of this lady, I was able to get in contact with the right person and find an internship that I really wanted, even though it wasn't something that was even really listed on their website. So yeah, the opportunity that you were envisioning might not always come about. It might not go the way you want it to, but it will lead to something even better. The only thing about this internship though was that it was unpaid. Don't take an unpaid internship unless it is absolutely necessary to. At a journalism conference my senior year, we had a speaker and she said, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. And that has stuck with me ever since then. Seek out a paid internship. If you're doing work that you know you're good at, if it's an internship where you go in and they're looking for a certain amount of skills, say they need you to be proficient in InDesign, Illustrator, Photoshop, they better be paying you. You are a skilled worker. You are going in with skills. You may not know as much as people there who work full-time doing what you do, but you are still contributing to the company in some way. So you should be paid, damn it. And now for my current internship. Right now, I am working at a small, we call it like a boutique marketing firm. I got this internship, it was weird. I saw it in the Honors College Digest, which again, another school I'm no longer a part of. They had posted that they needed a graphic design intern, and I applied. So the first thing that I noticed working there, especially since I've been working there for like a year now, is that it takes 2 to 3 months to get your footing and to figure out the company and to sort of, you know, get into flow, to feel like you understand everything. In the past, I would intern for 3 months and I would finally feel like I was getting the hang of it. Then it would be over because it was a summer internship and I had to go back to Arizona and back to school. With this place I'm at now though, it literally did. It took me 2 to 3 months to really just get the hang of it. When I first started, I was doing just what I was comfortable with. I was just doing ad layouts. One of the other designers would make an ad in one size and I would just take that same ad and sort of rearrange it for different sizes. But since working there, I've done everything from TV ads, radio spots, videos for websites, e-blasts, mock-ups, print ads, social media ads, blog posts. I've literally done everything since I've been there, everything within the creative realm. And having all those skills also helped me to ask for a pay raise. I started off making minimum wage, and then I fell upon some hard financial times, and I was like, I really need to be making more or I can't continue to work here. I didn't present it like that. I didn't go in asking for a pay raise saying, I need money, like I need a pay raise. I went and I sat down and I listed out all the things that I thought made me an asset to the company. So I was able to present that as a reason for a pay raise, and I got it. Getting that real world experience. Another thing that I've really learned working there is how to work with clients, because it is a marketing firm. So instead of just working for the company and producing stuff for the company you work for, you're producing stuff for a range of people who are going to have different ideas, different design sense, and some people's design sense isn't that great. You have some clients that are very hands-on, they want stuff a certain way, and they're gonna make 1,000,001 revisions to something until they get it how they want it. You're gonna walk away being like, this looks terrible, this looks awful, why would they want this? But at the end of the day, it's what the client wants and you have to give them that. It's really nice when you have a client that's very hands-off and you can be really creative. There's a few of those that we have that we can be just super creative with. We don't really get a lot of pushback from, and that's where some of like my portfolio pieces have come from, is that kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. I hope that you took something away from what I took away, highly recommend getting an internship, having at least one internship before you graduate, because in a lot of fields, especially graphic design, you're gonna learn so much more than your classes will ever teach you. So I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, maybe you should do so. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.